Sometimes the world demands proof of who you are and what you're worth. And if you don't have a fancy degree or a perfect accent, people think they already know your limits. But never ever underestimate a quiet mind. This is the story of Maria, a woman most people ignored until one day she did something no one else could. Maria Alvarez, a humble Hispanic woman, moved from Texas to New York with her young daughter Sofia. She didn't have much, but she had dreams and a fire inside her heart. To make ends meet, Maria worked as a cleaner at one of the top science universities in the country. Every morning she woke up at 4 a.m., took the metro, and quietly cleaned the shiny floors of Harvard's science building. But while sweeping, she'd pause, staring at the massive whiteboards filled with complex equations. No one noticed, but Maria was studying them, secretly. At night, after putting Sofia to sleep, she'd open library books, reading about physics, maths, quantum theories, all on her own. She never wanted fame. She just wanted to make her daughter proud one day. But the world isn't kind to people who don't look like they belong. Once Maria asked a professor, "Sir, what does this formula mean?" He laughed in her face. "You're a cleaner," he said. "Stick to the mop, not the math." The students, the researchers, they all mocked her. They looked right through her, as if she didn't exist. Maria cried alone many nights, but every morning she stood up again, stronger. One day in the library, she found something. A 30-year-old unsolved problem called the Hellman field theory. The top scientists had failed to solve it for decades. But Maria, she couldn't stop thinking about it. She started working on it, quietly, taking notes, making sketches, connecting ideas. During her break times, over lunch, and at midnight, when no one was watching, when she finally showed her version of the theory to a junior assistant in the lab, he laughed loudly and shouted across the room, "Hey everyone, look! The janitor thinks she's Einstein." Maria didn't react. She just whispered, "Time will tell." One night, a tired researcher accidentally erased part of the whiteboard. Maria was cleaning nearby. She hesitated, then opened her notebook, and for the first time, she started writing on the whiteboard. Line by line, step by step, she solved the equation. Right there, in silence. The next morning, the scientists walked in and froze. "What is this? Wait, this actually works?" They couldn't believe it. They called in the dean. An internal review began. When they discovered it was Maria, the cleaner, who had cracked the 30-year-old mystery, the entire hall went silent. Experts double-checked her solution and confirmed it was accurate. Maria had done what hundreds of brilliant minds could not. Everything changed. Harvard awarded her an honorary research fellowship. MIT invited her to speak. And across the world, the scientific community called her the untrained genius. Her daughter Sofia, with tears in her eyes, told reporters, "My mom's not just a cleaner, she's a solver of the impossible." Maria didn't ask for credit. She started a scholarship instead, called the Overlooked Minds Fund, to help students who couldn't afford education, but had the passion to learn. She didn't want a title. She wanted to open doors for others who had been ignored, just like her. 1 year later, Maria stood on stage at MIT. No lab coat, no designer dress. Just her usual white blouse and a heart full of courage. She said, "I may not be like you. I don't have your background, but I believed in myself." The audience gave her a standing ovation. A little girl shouted from the front row, "Ma'am, you're my hero." Maria smiled, looked at her, and said gently, "You can do anything. Just believe in yourself." Genius doesn't always wear a badge. Sometimes it wears a cleaning uniform. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.